Hey guys, so I received quite a few responses when I asked the question on Instagram today about whether I should make a video about Whole30 or not. And a lot of people messaged me and were like, please make a video because I want to do this, but I don't know what to do and I don't know how to get started. And I know that there are a lot of people that are starting Whole30 today on October 1st. So I'm really excited about you guys that are starting the journey today. It was actually a year ago today that I started Whole30 for the first time on October 1st of 2018. So it has been a great journey ever since then. So I want to first off just explain what Whole30 is for anybody who's watching this and they're like, what are you talking about? So Whole30 is a program. It's not a diet, it's a program where you cut things out of your diet for 30 days. So these things are dairy, you're cutting out sugar, you're cutting out preservatives, you're cutting out legumes, which are beans, you're cutting out quite a few different types of nuts. There are some nuts that are allowed, such as almonds and cashews. Peanuts are not allowed. So for you peanut butters like me, it's tough. You're cutting out all bread, so no bread for 30 days. There are a lot of things that you cut out, and I know when I tell people what all you're taking out of your diet, they're like, okay, wait a minute, so what do you eat? So what you can eat is you can eat meat, so grass-fed beef, you can eat chicken, you can eat eggs, you can eat vegetables, you can eat fruit, in moderation, which I'll get to that in a few minutes. There are a lot of things that you can eat. I know when you're hearing about all the things that you can't eat, it's hard to even think, okay, what can I eat? So that's kind of explaining, giving you a little information into what Whole30 is. So how I heard about it was on Instagram. Last summer, I had seen some posts about it, about different people who were doing it. There was some fitness people I followed that had done it and were posting about it. There was a girl that I'm actually mutual friends. I have a mutual friend with her. I don't really know her personally, but I do follow her on Instagram because she posts a lot of things that I relate to, and she had posted about doing Whole30, and she actually wrote a blog on it. And I read her blog, and in her blog she mentioned this book. It's called It Starts With the Food. It's by Dallas and Melissa Hartwig. They are the founders of the Whole30 program. So I bought that book on Amazon and I read it last September. And after I read that book, I was like, okay, I need to do this. So I started making plans and started kind of just deciding what I was going to do. And, you have to prepare for it mentally. So I bought, in September, I bought this book. It's called Whole30 Day by Day, written by Melissa Hartwig, and it literally goes through each day of Whole30. So here's like day 11, and it gives you encouraging tips. It will kind of describe probably what you're feeling on that day, and then you can write down what you've eaten that day, how you felt, and just kind of document. So the first time I did Whole30, which was last October, I did use this book and I documented on it. And it's really cool to go back now and look at how I progressed through that. So I remember the first time I went to the grocery store with my Whole30 grocery list in hand. And it was like the last week of September of last year, and I was horrified. I went to Lowe's Foods here in Wilkesboro, and I spent probably 2.5 hours in there. I literally had employees coming up to me and saying, like, do you need help? Like, are you okay? Because I had no idea what I was doing. Everything has added sugar or preservatives in it. I'm telling y'all, everything does. I could not find anything, and I was so ready to just sit down and cry because I could not find anything. I was confused. So do your research. I had done probably 3 or 4 hours of research as far as grocery list goes, and I still was overwhelmed in the grocery store. So please, please do your research before you go to the grocery store for the first time. Plan out your meals for that week. Plan out what you're going to eat for breakfast. Plan what you're going to eat for lunch. Plan what you're going to eat for dinner. Find the ingredients online. Figure out where you can buy them from. Some stuff you can get on Amazon. Some stuff you'll probably have to travel out of town for. I know that I've been to Whole Foods in Winston quite a few times on the Whole30 journey. I've also been to Earth Fair in Boone quite a few times because there's just some stuff here in Wilkes that you just can't find. So make sure you really prepare. So just kind of going through what the beginning looks and feels like. Most of y'all who follow me on social media know that I have really bad neck and shoulder inflammation. We still don't know what's wrong with me as far as that goes. I've had numerous tests done and it's been blamed on many different things, stress, hormones, heavy lifting, whatever. Still can't really figure out what's going on, but my neck and shoulder is inflamed about 85 to 90% of the time. So when I read about Whole30, I read about how dairy and sugar causes so much inflammation in your body. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I cut these things out of my diet and they take this pain away, that would be amazing. So that was one of the main reasons I decided to do Whole30, is because not to lose weight, so that I would stop feeling so much pain, the chronic pain. I have migraines sometimes. Whole30 helps tremendously with migraines. And I will say on that note, because I know caffeine, a lot of people are caffeine addicts like me. Caffeine is allowed. Coffee is allowed. You can still have your coffee. You can either drink it black or you can drink it with like almond milk or coconut milk in it. Obviously, you cannot have dairy products in it, but you can still have coffee. Random side note. So anyway, but it really helps with health problems. I've had a lot of people ask me, I have an autoimmune disease. Will that help with this? Absolutely, it will help with that. It will help with, oh my gosh, every medical problem you can pretty much think of. I mean, if you've got a broken arm, it's not going to heal your broken arm, but it really does help with things like migraines, inflammation, chronic pain, autoimmune diseases. I've even heard of people who have cancer doing Whole30 along with their chemo and radiation treatments to help heal them, and it has worked. It's amazing. It's amazing what this will do. So, just to kind of give you a background on what the first week looks like. The first week is tough. Okay, it's tough. I remember the first day I was pretty good. I was like, I can do this. I'm strong. I have posted about it on social media, so I will not stop because I'm too prideful for that. So I was like, okay, I can do this. Second day, I was okay. It's like, okay, I'm doing good. The third day hit me like a Mack truck. I could not even pull myself out of the bed hardly that morning. And I had to be at work at like 8 o'clock. And I was like, oh my goodness, my whole body was hurting. My head was pounding. I felt horrible. And I was like, this is awful. I don't want to feel like this. And in the Whole30 day by day book, it said on the third or fourth day, you will probably feel like death. And it's true. It's your body saying, where is the sugar? Where is the dairy? Where is it? I need it. You'll feel cravings. You probably will be irritable. If you have a spouse or kids, warn them about this. And it's tough. The third and fourth day for me, they were tough. There is also a stage called Kill All the Things. It usually comes at the end of the first week, beginning of the second week. You're just mad at everybody. You're mad at a lot of different things. You're just kind of, it's hard to be happy during that time. I hate to say that. But you will get through it. I promise you will get through it. Okay. Just give it some time. Halfway through the second week, I started feeling better. I started having surges of energy. It was easier for me to get up in the mornings. I used to have like a 6 o'clock slump where around dinner time, I was like, oh my gosh, I do not want to cook dinner. I do not want to do this anymore. I'm done. I just want to go eat macaroni and cheese out of the Kraft box, and that was me at 6 o'clock for like the first week and a half. But once I hit that 2 week mark, I started feeling better. I started, those slumps started going away. I started having energy without having to drink caffeine. And you will lose some weight. It is not about the weight, but you will. Like for the first time I did it, I lost like 15 pounds. This past time that I did it, I lost 12. So obviously that's a good thing. But by the end of it, day 28 and 29, 20, even in the early 20s, you are feeling like a new human being, okay? If you're taking ibuprofen every single day, 4 times a day for inflammation, if you're taking Excedrin every day for migraines, you will not be doing that in the 20 days of Whole30. You will not, because you feel like a different person and your body is so much healthier. You look healthier, your skin is healthier, your hair is healthier. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So you just got to stick it out through the hard days in the beginning. You've just got to push through it. Be strong. Just be strong. Have a support group. The first time I did it, I was doing it alone. And so I would call my mom and I would be like, I can't do this anymore. And she's a very big encourager. So she would encourage me and she would tell me I was strong and I could do it. And then the second time I did it, she did it with me. It was her first time, and it was so awesome to have somebody that I could call and be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this anymore. And we were holding each other accountable. We were each other's support teams. So it was really great. We'd get together and cook, and I will say this second round of Whole30 that I did a lot more cooking. I was a lot more adventurous with my recipes, and I will say that's mainly because I have my own house now, so I can just wreck my kitchen, and the only person that has to clean it up and worry about it is me and Clark. But when I lived in my parents' house last year, I didn't really want to like destroy the kitchen and get too crazy and too adventurous, but this time I was messing with stuff and cooking stuff I had never imagined I would cook. So where I get my recipes from, Pinterest, there are millions of Whole30 recipes on Pinterest. Please go to Pinterest. It's amazing. I also follow a couple of Instagram accounts. One is called Whole30 on a Budget. There's one called Whole30 Recipes, I believe. Got a lot of recipes off of there. There's also some Whole30 cookbooks on Amazon that you can order. I know my mom ordered a Whole30 cookbook and we did some recipes off of that. So as far as ingredients go, here are just a couple that I wanted to show to y'all. So first is Justin's almond butter. This stuff is so good on fruit. On Whole30, you want to eat fruit in moderation because it is natural sugar. So you don't want to eat like 4 helpings of fruit a day. You want to try to at least keep it down to 1 helping of fruit a day. Or maybe just 3 or 4 times a week that you eat fruit. But this with blueberries is like eating M&M's drizzled in chocolate. It is good stuff. It took me a little bit to get used to almond butter, but I think it tastes really good. So obviously you get the unsweetened kind. They sell it at Lowe's Foods. I think they have it at Walmart, Food Lion. So next, I've had a billion questions about my ghee. So I know that's a very weird word, ghee. So ghee is butter, okay? But it is actually butter that is melted down and the milk is soaked out of it. And it is, for people who are more, lactose intolerant, a lot of people use it. It's actually used a lot in Asian cooking as well, but it is allowed on Whole30. It is a type of butter. It is called clarified butter, but it's allowed. It tastes kind of different. It's a really strong version of butter, but I really like it. It's great for sauteing vegetables. You put it on baked potatoes, put it on sweet potatoes. You can get this ghee. I got mine at Lowe's Foods. It's in the refrigerated section at Lowe's Foods. Sauces and salad dressing. So I use Tessame's Creamy Ranch salad dressing. It's amazing. It has really good flavor, I think. It's good for salads, good for eating it with buffalo wings, whatever. This stuff, there's some at Walmart, I believe. I usually got mine at Whole Foods because I would just get it while I was there. You can actually order it on Amazon too. This is Tessame's barbecue sauce. For y'all that saw my blueberry meatloaf, this is what I put on top of my blueberry meatloaf. It's the same brand, Tessame's. This I could only get at Whole Foods. I could only find it there. This is another brand. It's called Primal Kitchen. It's steak sauce. I think this steak sauce tastes just like A1. Clark did not agree with me, but I think it tastes really, really good. So this I got at Whole Foods also. And all these things are at Earth Fare too in Boone. This is also Primal Kitchen. It's their ketchup, unsweetened. I will continue to use this from now on. It tastes just like regular Heinz or Hunt's ketchup. I'm not even kidding y'all. You don't need the sugar in ketchup. That is wasted sugar. You do not need that. Sorry to preach. So that's just kind of a few things that I would use on a regular basis to, in my cooking or whatever. A bunch of my recipes are posted on my Instagram highlight, Whole30. I'm going to write another blog. I wrote a blog last year after I did Whole30 in October, and I will reshare it again in the comments. But I am going to write another one about this go-round of Whole30. But Whole30 is something that I'm going to try to do every year. I know it will probably be harder once I have kids and, different things in life are happening, but it's something I'm going to try to do 1 month out of every year. It's just such a great purging. Your taste buds will be completely different by the end of it. A banana tastes like cheesecake. Blueberries taste like M&Ms. Almond butter tastes like pure Hershey's syrup. I mean, it's crazy stuff. It really does change your taste buds. The thought of a Diet Coke on day 30 of Whole30, you're like, oh, that sounds awful. It really will change the way you look at things and the way that you eat your food forever, I promise you. Reintroduction. At the end of Whole30, it's encouraged that you reintroduce foods back into your diet. So let's say you're on day 1 post Whole30 and you reintroduce dairy, so you eat something with some cheese in it. And then you give it 2 or 3 days, see how it affects you, see how inflamed you are, if you wake up with a migraine, things like that. And keep doing that with the dairy, the sugar, the breads, the beans, the legumes, things like that. Just keep adding stuff back into your diet every day. I did that last time. I learned a lot about myself. My major triggers are definitely dairy. Dairy really makes me inflamed. It really affects my shoulder and neck. Sugar, obviously, makes me just feel sluggish and tired and groggy and weird. Sugar really messes with you. I promise, it's a drug. So it really changes, like I've said over and over again. I sound like a broken record, but it will change the way you think about food. I'm trying to think. I hope I covered everything in this video. I know it's a long one. But if you have questions for me, or you're confused about something, or there's a product that you're like, I don't know if I can use this. Oh, that. So there is an app. I'm videoing with my phone, so I cannot show it to you, but there is an app called 30 Whole Days. You can get it in the App Store. It has a scanner. You can scan the barcodes in the grocery store of a lot of things. Some things it doesn't pick up, but it will tell you if it's approved or not. That was my saving grace the first time I did Whole30 last year. It saved my life, that 30 Whole Days app. So if you're doing Whole30, get the app. I think it costs like $3.99. It is worth it. Get the app. If you have questions for me, if you scan something and it doesn't pick up, you're welcome to send me a picture of it and I can try to help you. Read the labels. Always read the labels. Look for things like dextrose. That's a preservative. That's a sugar substitute. Just look for things. And now I can walk into the grocery store, pick up something, read the label. I don't even need the app, and no, that's not good for you. No, I can't have that. So it's so educational. So make sure you get that app. And for y'all that are doing it in October, good luck. I'm so excited for you. Please keep me updated on your journey. Again, if you have questions, or if you're worried, you want to try it, but you really don't know what to do, you don't know where to start, send me a message. I love talking to people about this stuff. So I am so thankful that y'all want to hear me talk about this stuff. Thank you for being supportive. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. So